Welcome back to this week's episode. Today we're going to be painting the engine. I'm going to show you how to paint it, how to treat it, what paint to use to make it look close to brand new. So let's get started. This video is broken into two components: cleaning and preparing to paint, and then the painting itself. So if you just want to see the painting, just jump to that timestamp. I'll also be going over alternatives if you don't have an oven to bake in, what you can do instead. So stick around for that in the painting section. First things first, you want to remove all the dirt, grease and grime that's on the engine. So I'd recommend pressure washing it before you take it off the bike. After that, we're going to do paint stripping. So we're going to remove the old paint layers and get it ready to be primed. So as you can see, a bit of paint stripper, leave it overnight. The paint just strips right off, and you can see that the covers are really worn. So this engine's in need of a repaint. I'm using a Selleys automotive paint stripper, but I'm pretty sure any of it's going to work. It's all just paint at the end of the day. I am also using a wire brush instead of sandpaper because I'm trying to get rid of the paint, and I'm not worried about it scratching the engine, because if it does scratch the engine, it's going to give the primer more to adhere to. So you'll see me use the wire brush, a Dremel and a wire drill attachment, and I'm not worried about scratching it because it's just going to make the paint adhere a lot better to the engine. But you could also go about sanding this, but in this instance a wire brush and a drill brush is totally fine. I would say that you don't have to get all the paint off. I've seen some videos where people have painted over old paint, but for this build I want to get it all off just because this engine's coming up to 30-40 years old. I'm not sure of the integrity of the paint, so I'm just going to get rid of it. But I have seen in the past you can paint over old paint. For the cylinder, barrel and the head, there was actually a lot of wasp nests growing in it, so I'm just removing these before I even try and strip the paint. So just flipping them out with a screwdriver. Seeing the engine's an air-cooled engine, it has all the fins, and that makes it really difficult to get into all the tight spots, so a Dremel was perfect for this use. For this project I've used the VHT engine enamel paint and the VHT engine primer, and they both were amazing to work with. But first thing first, I needed to wipe it down with acetone to make sure there was no dirt, grease, oil, grime left on the part so that the primer could adhere to. Because I removed the paint with wire brushes and wire drill attachments, I wasn't worried about sanding it because I know that the primer would have something to adhere to. And now I'm going to use the primer. So the primer and the engine enamel all have to be applied within an hour. The can recommends 10-minute intervals or when dry, but if you miss that hour window, you have to wait for 10 days. So every 10 minutes, I did another coat of primer. I only did 2, I found that was enough. I let it rest, and then once it was dry, I added the color. And then I would bake it in the oven, which we'll get to in a second. As you can see here, I'm adding the color. In this build, I went with aluminium. I found that was going to contrast with the black engine really nicely, which it turned out really nice at the end. But same deal, I'm putting it on in light spray paints, 10 minutes apart, will touch dry, and then I'll do another coat, and I've done 3 coats for this. I've also put this on a piece of cardboard just so I can spin it around and make sure I get every angle of the piece that I'm painting. But yeah, so 2 or 3 coats and then we'll cure it. So for the curing process, the back of the can recommends 90 degrees for 60 minutes. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, got a small toaster oven. It was just large enough to actually put all the engine cases in. It had to be 33 centimeters by 33 centimeters by 22 centimeters. And I found that to the centimeter. But yeah, 90 degrees, 60 minutes, let it bake. And then that's pretty much it. The paint is cured. It has a chemical resistance to fuel. And it's also a lot stronger, so you can drop it on the ground and there won't be any scratches, which I had done multiple times in the build and there was no damage done. So for the engine cases, I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to wipe it down with acetone. I'm going to apply the primer, 2 coats, 10 minutes apart. Once that's touch dry, I'm going to apply the color. In this case, it'll be black. 2 to 3 coats, 10 minutes apart. Then I'm going to wait an hour, put it in the oven for an hour at 90 degrees, and that was the whole process. So this whole engine to paint and bake took under a day. Obviously I had to put one thing in the oven at a time because it was a small one, but it still took 1 day to repaint and cure this engine. So I found this was a very viable option if you don't have many facilities like an air gun or a massive oven that you can use. A little toaster oven works just fine. I'm hoping in future projects I can use some Cerakote or powder coating when I get a little bit more money and maybe more facilities, but for now this VHT paint worked incredibly well. If you don't have an oven or anywhere you can cure it, the can does say that the engine heat will cure it for you, but you have to let it idle for an hour. You're not allowed to have it too hot. I'm not exactly sure of the exact process, but I know if push comes to shove and you don't have another option, you could probably rely on engine heat alone. But you have to be careful because when it's not cured, while you're building the bike, if you spill fuel or oil on it, it could deteriorate the paint. So that's your only risk when you're putting it together, that you might have fuel and stuff melting through the paint before it actually cures. So just keep that in mind if you're going to go down that route of not curing it in an oven. But I have seen that work in the past, and it is a viable option if you don't have another option. Another tip worth mentioning, you can see that I'm hanging it over the edge of the table. That's so that I can get underneath it and paint all the parts that are underneath. That's really hard to get from directly spraying above. So just keep that in mind when you're painting. You're going to have to hit all angles, and you might even need to get lower than the piece to really make sure that you're getting full coverage. It's especially obvious with the fins here. I had to go from above, straight beside and underneath, just to make sure that all the fins were coated properly. So as you can see, these came up really nicely. There's a lot of coverage, and even though I was getting the paint off with metal brushes and metal drill attachments, you don't actually see any scratches on the casing. So I think this is a really good way if you don't have a lot of money to just make the engine look a little bit fresh again. So definitely worthwhile doing. Now that the case is all prepared, I got the piston and the top end parts that I needed. In the next episode, I'm going to be putting back the engine together. I'm going to start with the bottom end, then go through the top end, and I'll show you all the tuning points, the torque specs, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you next episode. Thanks for watching.